Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the instant reaction to Sunderland 0, Everton 3. This was a game of two halves, and what a second half it was for Everton Football Club and for Romulu Lukaku, a hat-trick. Who'd have thought it after such a long drought? Not scoring since Chelsea in the quarterfinals of the Cup. What an amazing second half. But before we talk about the second half, let's just talk about the first half. Obviously, Coleman came in for Holgate. I thought we were all right first half. We were all right, but we weren't anywhere near what we've been in the last few games. The front four very much under par. Rom missed a sitter from Balassi. Balassi did all right, but was overcooking it far too much. Morales didn't really get into the game, and Ross was pretty dire, let's be honest. Rom should have given us the lead quite early on from the header. The keeper made a good save. Should have really buried that, to be honest. But, you know, let's not worry about that. Let's not worry about that too much. Sunderland didn't have too many chances themselves. But what I would say about this game is, it was a game of two halves, but we didn't lose either half. That was the main. We defended resolutely all game. Garner and Gareth Barry were absolutely terrific again in front of Ashley Williams and obviously Phil Jagielka, who once again kept a clean sheet. And that's what I think. That's what's really positive, is that if we're not scoring goals at the moment, we're doing everything to keep them out, and that cannot be lost. That cannot be overshadowed by how well we played offensively second half, because the game was there to be won second half, whereas last season the game would have been trying to get back in the game. So that is already a massive difference. When we play poorly, or so far when we've played poorly against a very poor team, let's be honest, we haven't gone behind, we haven't made silly mistakes. I mean, let's go back to, what was it, May, when we played them and they beat us 3-0 and we conceded 3 very poor goals, and we had nothing to us tonight. At least tonight, going into that second half, as bad as we were, we had something to go for. As I say, first half really, really poor, but you know, you've got to say the players I've already mentioned here were absolutely fantastic. Half time makes a change. He brings Delafeu on for Ross Barkley. Really big change, because yes, Ross was poor, and yes, it was the obvious sub, but was it the obvious sub? Do you expect your manager to take, you know, your big players off at half time because they're having stinkers? And most of the time, managers wouldn't. But those big managers, they make those kind of decisions, or managers who want to be big managers make those kind of decisions. And it was a decision ultimately that changed the game. Gerard Delafeu got on and gives a little bit more energy down the right. Morales moved in a little bit. Balassi got on the left a lot more, and it really did work. And it opened up the space for Romulu Lukaku. You know, the first goal, their corner, we broke. Delafeu broke brilliantly. He nearly lost the ball, but he won a 50-50. Massively important he won that 50-50. Because if he'd lost that 50-50, they're on the attack. But he won it, he dug in and he won it. He manned up a little bit. Everything that we were criticising him for a couple of weeks ago against West Brom. He won it, took it down. To be fair, he picked a really poor option. He had 4 options on and tried to get the hardest one through the middle of 2 defenders to get Rom in. Garner picked it up. Honest to God, this player, he's just something else. You know, he's shown so much already in his defensive work. He picks it up. You know, he's run from defending a corner. He's gone up with them, picks it up, puts a little cross in. Romelu Lukaku does what he should have done first half. He heads it down. He gives the keeper no chance. And it's 1-0. And as soon as that goal went in, you felt the weight to come off Rom's shoulders. You seen him just relax a little bit. He nearly got us. He nearly got a couple straight after that. He had a great one where he done it twice. He pinned the defender and spun. The first one got caught under his feet. The second one, he rattles the bar. They go up the other end, get a corner, which we deal with really well. And the next minute, you know, Blassie's down the left. He's got that raw pace we spoke about. It's not the kind of pace where you try to take you stand and start and you can't beat them. He's got to stand and start and he can beat the fullback, and he shows it again. Stand and start, fullback, whips it in, there's Rom at the far post to head it in to make it 2-0, and it's all over for the Showing. Only a few minutes later, I think it's Kevin Morales slips him in, and so comfortably put in for the 3-0. And the mad thing is, if it had been 1-0 when he'd had that chance, he probably would have missed it. Or, it was so relaxed at that point. It was on his hat-trick, sweeps it in. He could have got a fourth when he tried to go on the outside, probably kept on all of it for a second longer. Also Kevin Morales in. And what I loved was, we were 3-0 up, and we had the ball, and we were using it so well. We were so comfortable. Garner, again, Barry, so comfortable in possession. Ashley Williams, Jagielka, even at 3-0 at the back, they were absolutely determined not to be beaten. Determined not to be beaten, to keep hold of that clean sheet. That's 2 goals conceded. 2 goals conceded in 4 games. You think about last season, the difference. But again, you look at it and it's small margins, and that's what's great. I was really worried beginning of the first half. We've missed another golden chance first half. I thought we'd missed a couple of chances to get in. I'm thinking it's just so small margins. The difference is, though, our defence is giving us a chance at the moment. It's giving us a chance to win these games. And that's last season when we went on and on and on, and people got sick of us and people called us moaners, and we kept on so much clean sheets and what it meant to have a centre-back partnership that all he wanted to do was defend. A goalkeeper that was I know Stecklenberg didn't have much to do tonight, but everything he did with assurance. And just all those little, just defenders who want to defend, midfielders who want to get stuck in and win the ball, and that's the difference. Organisation as well. Suddenly we look really organised, and just seeing the second half, the way we moved the ball. I mean, that spell around 3 goals, we could have 4 or 5. They were just shell-shocked, but it was the way we were moving the ball. It's the way that we had Delafeu on one side, the trickery, Balassi on the other side, that raw pace. Morales using a little bit more of experience and coming inside and just creating spaces. Because he was poor first half, he could have easily been dragged. And Rom just having wanting to score, having that desire to score, massively important. So absolutely fantastic. A word on Ross, he was terrible. He was absolutely terrible. He stunk the place out first half. It was like, we've seen him have these games before, and I think that's what the most frustrating thing is. It's like he wants to play at his pace, but everyone else is playing at the Premier League pace. I don't know what it is with him. I don't know what it is. And this is why people keep having doubts about him. And that's the problem, because he seems the kind of kid who's going to have doubts within himself as well. And they made a big thing about him on Sky before the game, and Phil Neville saying how good he was, and he showed his stats with Frank Lampard and Steven Gerrard. And there was not much difference in Paul Scholes at their age. But the big thing they said was, it's what happens now, it's where he kicks on. So he's got to start kick on him. Lots been made about him not being in the England squad, and people saying, if he wants to be in the England squad, he's got to start driving forward. Well, if he wants to be in the England team, the Everton team, he's got to start driving forward. And if it doesn't sink in that he's, his place, he hasn't got an automatic place. Because what's happened there at half time, that's told every player, like it did with James McCarthy at West Brom, that no one's got a right to a place. If you're playing crap, you're off the pitch. We have got replacements on the bench, and that's really important. It was brilliant to see Tom Davies come on. When he come on, again, brilliant. He's got so much tenacity, awareness. He's such a wise head on a young shoulders. I can't say the same for Kone. He's got old shoulders and an old head and not much else. I mean, that is definitely where we're lacking. We're lacking that striker. Enner Valencia wasn't even on the bench tonight, but you can understand that. He probably didn't get back to Liverpool till about Saturday. Manager hasn't really seen him, so you can understand that, coming off the back of a win as well. So it's all positive. Coleman and Baines didn't really get forward tonight, didn't really have to. It was all on them defending, not getting forward. So that was really important as well. That's another little change that we've got. Because we've got, in Balassi, you just let him go. Delafeu, you let him go. Morales, you let him go when they're playing well. But what, as I say, what really impressed me tonight was when we weren't playing well, there was certain players who dug in and made sure that we weren't going to concede. And I can't reiterate how important that is to have in the team. We've walked off 3-0, could have been 6-0. But the most important thing is that nil for us. You know, we haven't conceded. That's huge. That's huge. Because obviously, you know, apart from Spurs, I think who we've played so far are all crap. I'll be honest. They're all crap. And tonight's the first one we've really finished off. I mean, we should have beat West Brom by more. We should have beat Stoke by more. But we didn't. But tonight we did. And that's really important. So we can start getting things going that way and keep doing what we're doing at the back, then it's going to be so positive. Listen, I'm not getting over the top about it. I'm, you know, I know where we are in the league table, but I don't really care. We'll come back in, you know, we'll come back in 10 games time. We'll have a little look at that and see how things are starting to balance out. But everything seems to be going in the right direction. And again, you know, Saturday we play Middlesbrough. It's a game we should be expected to win, but that brings its own pressures. But if we do get the 3 points and then we're Bournemouth and then Crystal Palace, don't want to look too far ahead. But if we still keep showing that, and if we're determined not to concede goals, then we'll nick goals ourselves, especially Rom's in that form and in that mood. And he is the kind of player who goes in blobs, doesn't he? He goes in good runs of scoring. So that's really important as well. But, you know, if we're not conceding, and also I think in all the games so far we've played in spells. You know, today we're saying we've played for a second half. So it all keeps growing, it all keeps pushing. That's all you want. It's all been nothing but positive so far on the pitch, really, for the most part. And when it has been positive, you know that Ronald's going to get them in at half time and give them a serious bollocking. You know that. You've seen him after the match. He's come out and they've gone, oh, wasn't that fantastic? He's like, well, the second half was, the first half was crap. That's what you want. That's what you want from your manager. You want everyone to know how it is. And when they're playing well, he'll say you're playing well. And when they're playing rubbish, he'll tell you you're playing rubbish. That's what you want. You don't want a manager stroking everyone's ego or leaving them on till half time or whatever, or, you know, leaving them on because it'll hurt their feelings. They're professional footballers. This is what they go to work for. So you get on with it. So it's positive. I made up 3-0, another 3 points. Happy days. Me and Baz will be in the studio tomorrow having more happy days on the final word. Look out for his instant reaction as well. I'm just happy. One last thing. Swerve that Balassi song, the Heartbeat one. It's garbage. Get on the other one. Give us goals, Balassi, give us goals, Balassi, give us goals, Balassi, when you're running down the wing. I'll never do that. I'll never ever do the motions again, unless you want me to. Thanks for watching. If you want to buy a t-shirt, don't forget, let us know and we'll get them made. I'll be back tomorrow on the final word. See you later. Thank you for watching Toffee TV.